But it's also a question of, was it a crime of passion, or was it actually planned?
Mm, right, I can minimize. I can have that. Got my notes.
Oh, I should probably actually have some. You know what happened that was really weird though yesterday?
Mm,
You remember how I did the thing with you guys where I described the whole gaping maw ripping open and that kind of thing?
sure.
So I did that with them, and I made a random music selection, and like as I was telling the story, the fucking music just perfectly matched what was going on,
Nice.
and it was a little bit fucking creepy. And then like a little bit, and like I basically told them a ghost story of like these spirits are beckoning you, and they're trying to drag people off into the night to never be seen again. And then like their infant daughter decides to in her like she's completely asleep, sits up and starts making noises,
Hmm.
and it's just like, the fuck is happening? So we were all just getting a little bit weirded out. It also probably didn't help that we'd been playing this game for like 8 hours at that point.
1, 2, 3. Might not be. I probably won't need the cards, but hey, I've got cards now.
Well,
I've got my
actually,
spells.
most of the spells are kind of utility spells, so they
Yep,
might be useful.
we'll see.
And especially if you got like a detect something, or
I don't get it that measured by default.
I said if, because you'd have to draw
Let me
it.
just see. I've got that. Attack.
I'm sorry. Book.
I'm just gonna pretend that that's good boy upstairs. We can just hear it downstairs for some reason.
Oh,
No, it's my construct, actually.
book. And oh, hey, I got clairvoyance again. I'm gonna discard
Oh.
that since I just played that. So technically, I should not have it.
No, that's fair. I was gonna say it could be potentially useful.
Yeah, I could do a short rest and get it back, but nah.
Someone's gonna die in that time.
Yeah, probably.
And we already lost the colonel for who knows what reason.
So,
Bad chicken.
where were we?
Bad chicken. We were at the part where we just kind of bullshit for a couple minutes.
Nice.
While I get stuff set up. Also, I might like something to drink.
If I remember last we left off, we had...
We were studying the books in here.
That's a specific thing we were doing. In terms of the last adventure, we had just left the Witch Kingdom.
Yep.
And on the way up here, we saw a hitchhiker who Tom wanted to get a whole bunch of money off, and I said, nah, it's fine. It's going the same place as us.
Well, there were a few things that happened in between. You went through the Witch Kingdom. Then you had to build an encampment for All Hallows.
That was the session beforehand. I'm going by last session.
Well, right, but that you picked up the last session. Picked up after you had built the encampment, not left the Witch Kingdom. So you'd finish you left your All Hallows encampment, and then along the way you found Dolan.
We found Dolan, who
I want to drop it.
I tried to find the most handsome dwarf that didn't have a really big beard, because he's technically only half dwarf. So he can't like grow a dwarven beard, but he can try.
And so we picked him up. We got to this hotel after a bridge had collapsed, and apparently this was prepaid and planned. Who knew?
Yep, because Broderick.
Oh, I thought it was because Team Leo reasons.
Broderick was from L.E.O, and he knew that you guys were coming up here this way, and he wanted to have witnesses. Yeah, unfortunately, that didn't help him very much.
Mm-hmm. And we made our way in. We met Illired, however you pronounce his name.
Ilaird.
That guy who seemed wonderful has apparently hacked into our nerd chat.
Yeah.
Still not sure how. Anyway.
And for those of you wondering what the quote-unquote nerd chat is, it's the text on the side. It's cut out, but
Yeah, you won't be able to see it, but it's right around that side of the screen.
it's not even started yet. Like, they can't see.
On the right-hand side of it's on the right-hand side of the screen. Which is using the chat. A lot of people are doing stuff. And we've totally just said, yeah, this is telepathic communication.
Telepathic.
All routed through Project 21. All of it's routed through Project 21. So if Project 21 wandered off, we would not be able to use a chat anymore.
So what you're saying is Project 21 has become the epicenter of some sort of low-level telepathic field?
Yeah, he's the Wi-Fi center.
No, he's a cell tower, because if he was the Wi-Fi center, then we would be able to go on the internet.
He's a LAN. He's a local area network router. There we go. Yeah, we came in here.
Well, doesn't
we
that make
wandered
him
around for a
WLAN then?
bit.
What?
He's a wireless local area network.
WLAN, yeah.
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 He has a LAN aura.
We went into this the party thing that went on in the evening. I know there was other stuff in between there, but nah. Where the owner of this place said, "Hey, by the way, all of you are terrible people. Not us. The people who, or other people who were invited. You're all terrible people. You're all cut out of my will." And then he was promptly stabbed in the back when darkness came.
Didn't even get the chance to marry his new fiance.
Didn't even get a chance to sign the changed will.
Yeah.
So technically the speech where he said, "Fuck you all," was entirely useless.
Oh, yeah,
signed beforehand.
And the investigator that was hired to figure out this investigation is a total jackass.
Oh, he's great. I love him. He clearly has no interest for the fact that Dorian has written up probably so much stuff.
I'm sure he's diligent enough to investigate, and it definitely isn't just sitting at the bar right now.
Totally. Mm-hmm.
Totally not just smoking a cigar, mulling over the facts in his head.
And probably thinking it through in his terrible French accent.
No,
I thought it was
Sorry, it was Gnomish
yeah,
accent.
yeah. Specifically, it's endemic to the rock gnomes.
Rock gnome accent. It's horrible.
Which sounds German, Italian.
It's French going on to German when the accent slips. It's like
It's a Franco-German accent. There you go.
Yeah. It's sort of like people pretending to speak Queen's English when they don't natively speak it. Occasionally their accent slips back to the neutral thing and they bring them back to the Queen's English quickly to save face. He's doing just that. Every time his accent slips, he quickly changes back to his terrible French accent just to say, "No, guys, trust me. I promise. I'm really a bureaucrat. I swear." Don't look at me like that.
Right, I'm gonna go get a drink and then we can start proper.
But yeah, like I was literally borderline ready to kill him when I was being interrogated.
What was it? He arrived after a day. Initial investigation where we decided to go, we should probably take care of everyone and, make sure they don't get stabbed. We quickly realized that 7 floors, 7 people, they're all on different
I thought
floors.
it was 3 floors.
7.
Oh.
It's 7 floors, that's why we couldn't do it. We had no feasible way of keeping track of them.
Remember, I have the Iron Defender going for me as well, so he can be patrolling while one of us rests. And then when we're done resting, he goes down for the next person rests, and so on and so forth.
That's the thing, though, of we would have to be taking care of multiple floors per person, which means there will be a gap where one floor is not being looked at. And also,
And that's where my Iron Defender comes in. He fills in that gap.
well, it's going to be multiple gaps. There's 7 floors and there were 7 people. Or 8 people, 9 people. Yeah.
So see where the...
Unless, in the end, a whole bunch of us stay up 2 hours later. Well, a few hours later in the morning. Anyway, and also, on a semi-win, I found out I've got a wonderful spell called Clairvoyance nearer to the end of the last session, which let me see stuff, which I shouldn't be able to see.
Or hear stuff.
Or hear stuff, one or the other, not both at the same time. And I
Does that make sense?
I think it's like bandwidth issues. If I take both of them, the entire signal cuts out. So to stop that, I have to either choose hearing or seeing. Otherwise, it throttles my connection, and I only get 1 frame a second, and then everything, I just can't see anything.
That sounds horrendous.
I'm just giving an excuse to why clairvoyants can only have either see or hear at once. Otherwise, yeah, too much bandwidth. It's used too much. 1 frame a second. It's useless information.
Amazing. All right.
Yeah.
Well, on that,
He was saying he was a wonderful person who was gonna have an empire of what was it? Toasted rooks?
Crispy Rook, I think it was.
Crispy
Yeah,
rooks.
he was gonna have food holes all over the place.
Food holes everywhere. And then he was stabbed by a mysterious blurry person.
I still love the fact that transliterations could make things like that.
I still think that sounds like some sort of innuendo.
And then we read up some laws, and turns out even if you change the will, it wouldn't actually have made too much difference for the family. So
Yeah,
we have no clue anything
which
anymore.
throws sus on all the people who aren't actually family.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, hello, and welcome to the Marvellous Misadventures of L.E.O. I'm, of course, the DM, Brandon. Joining me today is just Simon, also known as Air Nico, also playing Dorian Crawfield.
Hi.
And, of course, the lovely Kira, also known as Ozen. Yeah, just the two of you. Sometimes
Just
we
the
have,
two of us.
Like I think we've had like 5 people at once at one point.
Mm-hmm.
It varies. People have
Normally
schedules.
we have at least 3, but yeah.
Yeah, but you know, today we have
Like
just
that.
the people that are actually good at investigation, so I guess it's fine. I got a slightly better version of the map.
I do like it.
I thought
It's a
something
bit
looked different.
Yeah,
High res.
it's not as blurry.
Yeah.
The transmission cleared up.
The clairvoyance finally ended and transmission stream went up again.
We've also
This is like
I've also gone through and made tokens for all the different characters, so that can be visually represented better now.
yay.
No, I can punch them.
Or you can just send your thingy to bite them. Project 21 to bite them. No.
Project 21 to bite him.
I feel like Project 21 could just swallow the investigator whole.
Probably.
I'm pretty sure Project 21 is currently classed as a small creature.
And and what, the investigator isn't? You said he was a gnome.
Yeah, that makes them roughly equivalent size classes.
I'm sure he can still swallow it up. It'd just be a few chunks instead of whole.
Well, what I mean is, like, you wouldn't expect Byakko to be able to swallow somebody. Because they are both medium creatures. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if he were, like, giant, then yeah, sure. Or larger. What is the actual scale? Like, where does it go from, like, I know it's, like, large, and then it's, like, what, giant, gargantuan, and then colossal?
I'll be right back.
There is a size table for it.
Yeah, I can't remember it off the top of my head.
So medium is 4 to 8 foot, small is 2 to 4. Everything's relative to the 4 to 8 foot. And if you go one size up, you're double. If you go one size down, you're half.
Okay. Oh, there's actually something in between. Okay, I'd actually forgotten one. Oh, it's huge,
Medium, small,
not giant.
Yeah, medium, large, huge, gargantuan, colossal plus.
Colossal plus.
Tiny, small, medium, large, huge, gargantuan. Yeah.
Yeah.
With diminutive and fine being technical ones, but that's so tiny that, yeah.
Wait, this table on D&D Beyond seems wrong because it says that small and medium are both 5 by 5. What?
I assume it's...
No, that's the space.
Oh, I see.
No. Yeah. The space and natural reach.
Yeah.
And stuff like that.
Okay.
Wait, is there someone else in here? I just realized.
What do you mean?
That person right there.
Oh yeah, in the library. I thought you meant in the Discord.
Oh, yeah, so did I. I was like, what are you talking about? Yeah, that's like a librarian.
Oh.
You just see someone there, like, shuffling books around. Do remember, it is a hotel with a bunch of people in it. Not all of them are necessarily important, but they are there. So, last time, Dorian, you got to witness the Colonel get iced.
Mm-hmm.
Rest in peace, KFC.
Rest in peace.
And then you decided to go do research on something?
Mm-hmm.
Let's remember what you went to research.
I was researching the inheritance laws of dwarves.
Oh, right. And that's when you discovered that actually all people who are inheritors of an estate are entitled to something. Yep. Even if the will writes them out.
Yep.
Wasn't it like a minimum of 6%?
I think it was a minimum of 15%. Each.
Or total. Okay. Interesting.
So if I had 10 kids.
Yeah, I'm thinking as soon as you got 6 or more, not more than 6 people in your will, or who are familiarly bonded to you.
Yeah, that's when you have a contested will, and then you have to go before a dwarven high court and make arguments.
Oh, that sounds like a lot of effort.
That sounds like a lot of stuff I hope we don't actually have to delve into.
Well, luckily, I think only one of us is a dwarf. And his family is a bit more disparate.
Yeah, he basically doesn't have a claim to anything up here, essentially.
Yep.
Is the way that works.
Yep. But not just that, his actual his kids and whatnot are a bit more spread apart and unknown.
Well, they're also not legitimate children.
Mm-hmm.
Within dwarven law, your legitimate children are generally, descendants from your marriages. In the a priori list of important things, it goes, okay, your legitimate children, then your illegitimate children, if there are no legitimate children, and then like all other people, I guess. Up until your estate is just taken by the Dwarven Empire.
Interesting. That does make sense. Anyway, I'm going to put this book back because it's getting very boring.
Yeah, it's a book of law.
I've read now 2 bits of law or legislative stuff, and both of them have been incredibly boring.
Because the other half of Elf Squad isn't here, I'm going to have Illard and Sulitham go off and do a thing.
Yep, they're just doing a thing. That's fine.
They're going to go investigate, and definitely not just stare at the maid with big breasts.
I'm sorry, what?
No, you know, they're investigating. They're investigating how a person can keep all that weight and not break their back.
If you go to Milan, yeah.
Part of me is afraid to.
Right.
So Orpheus will come find you guys at the library. Find anything useful?
Useful? I found something that makes our entire investigation very, very much bigger.
That doesn't sound useful.
No. I'm now just looking through books and pretending that I'm totally know what I'm looking for. I have no clue what I'm looking for.
Arzen is just looking back and forth between you two as you talk.
If you want to know, shorthand, his new will would have been, it's not illegitimate, but semi-illegitimate if he signed it.
Semi-illegitimate if he signed it.
Semi-illegitimate. His new will was saying that everything goes to his new wife. The inheritance law for dwarves by this inheritance law, 2nd edition of the law. Wow, dwarves are really much slower than elves in terms of law. They stated that 15% of all inheritance go to each family member. Each family member gets 15% of the inheritance. Doesn't matter what the will says.
Okay. So, then really the only person to really lose out in this whole thing would be the new fiance.
Her, yep. And the actress? Who else is not part of the family?
Oh yeah, I guess that does give her more motivation. The goat boy.
Goat boy as well.
Coming from a person with horns saying goat boy, that sounds a bit peculiar.
But we know exactly how much he likes his goats. But yeah, so it gives those 3. I'm gonna rule out the to-be wife. Because, it wasn't signed.
Yeah, it makes it very unlikely. Well, okay. Actually, because it is a character that I specifically play, I'm going to make an insight to see if he gets this idea or not. Which, considering his insight,
So, his to-be wife, probably wouldn't have done it, or if she did, it's a bit too soon. She's not married to the guy, and the will isn't signed, so she has no claim to anything at the moment. Again, unless it was a botch, but by the looks of how it was with the captain, I have very large doubts in that.